The NASCAR Cup Series heads to Bristol for the Food City Dirt Race, and we see incredible racing, multiple rain delays, and a full-scale race on Easter, an incredible finish where a driver steals a victory here. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Just got done watching NASCAR Cup Series race in Bristol Dirt, the Food City Dirt Race. I've got a lot of thoughts on the race. Let's go ahead and just talk about it. So before we talk about the race that happened, we're going to go ahead and talk about the heats that happened in this race. So in heat race number one, the race would basically, Todd Gilliland would basically lead the field to the green. Ross Chastain was able to get around Todd Gilliland for the lead, and then Tyler Reddick was able to pass Ross Chastain, and he would pull on to win heat number one. There were a couple singles car spins in heat number one. Ryan Blaney would spin early, and Ross Chastain would spin later into the heat, and Tyler Reddick, like I said, would win heat number one. In heat number two, Kevin Harvick would lead the field to the green with Kyle Busch on the outside. Kyle Busch actually got the lead. Chase Briscoe was really starting to make moves. Also, Bell was really starting to make some moves as well. And Bell eventually got around and was able to take the heat win. Also, during that heat, Daniel Suarez ended up spinning but bounced back to a pretty decent finish in the heat. Heat number three is pretty much straightforward. Joey Logano led the field to the green with Justin Haley on the outside, and Justin Haley got around Joey Logano and dominated and basically was able to win heat number three. Then in heat number four, Chase Elliott led the field to the green with Ty Dillon on the outside, and we would see Ty Dillon basically take the lead and pull away. Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson were right behind him. It looked like those two guys are really going to make a run for the money at them, but they were not able to do that, and Ty Dillon would hit heat number four. So at the start of the race, you have Cole Custer actually won the pole because he got the most points. He would lead the field to the green because no one basically went to the rear of the field. Cole Custer lead the field to the green from the outside with Bell on the inside. And we see Chase Briscoe actually able to get the race lead from them in really, really good racing. Then we started seeing some guys having some major overheating problems. Cole Custer basically with the grill really muddy because the track had a little bit of wetness on there. There was a little bit of rain starting to flow around. Rain would become an issue in this race. Cole Custer would come down the road for overheating issues, and a few laps later, we saw Eric Almirola come down to clean his grill as well. And then they decided, because of the grills being really, really dirty, they decided to throw a competition caution for the mud on the grills. This is really on the fault of the teams. NASCAR should not have been throwing a competition caution right there. I feel like NASCAR could have kept it green. It's on the teams for not having better grills. After that, then we went back racing on lap 26 with Chase Briscoe leading the field back to the green on the outside with Bell on the inside. And we saw Chase Briscoe hold the race lead. He actually would dominate the next portion, but Kyle Larson really started closing in. He had to start, I think, fifth and was really starting to make his way up to the front. And Kyle Larson was catching him. And then on lap 50 of the race, we see Chase Briscoe, the first 48 laps of this race, he would end up spinning down, had a tire go down and spun out from the lead, bringing out the second caution of this race. Then on the restart, you have Kyle Larson lead the field on the green from the outside with Ty Dillon on the inside, and Kyle Larson was able to keep the race lead. And then Tyler Reddick started saying he had potential concerns of flat tire. Tyler Reddick was running 8th position at the time, but was concerned about that. And then coming to the end of stage number one here at Bristol Dirt, we see Kyle Larson win it. Meanwhile, Justin Allgaier got into the outside wall after getting in turn Kevin Harvick from 30th as well. Kyle Larson won the stage, but Justin Allgaier was spin during that time. And then we see the mandatory pit stops with a couple guys deciding to stay out. Daniel Suarez, Ross Chastain, and Chase Briscoe all decided to stay out while everyone else came down pit road. Then on the restart, you have Daniel Suarez lead the field from the outside with Ross Chastain on the inside, and Daniel Suarez was able to keep the race lead. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin started basically having some engine issues as well, and then we saw Alex Bowman basically spin off a turn number 4 from 14th position, bringing out the caution, and then Denny Hamlin will go to the garage, finishing last in, I think second to last in today's race. And then we went back restarting lap 97. Daniel Suarez leading the field from the outside with Kyle Larson on the inside, and we saw Daniel Suarez able to keep the race lead. Then Ross Chastain got around Larson and Briscoe, and Chastain got up to second. Then a lap later, we saw Corey LaJoie spin in turn number 2 and collected a ton of drivers in the wreck. This included Noah Gragson, Kevin Harvick, and Alex Bowman, also Austin Cindric, all got involved in the caution. Kevin Harvick's race, unfortunately, be over, and those guys all got damaged, but most of them were able to continue going. Then on the restart on lap 106, he had Daniel Suarez lead the field back to the green from the outside with Ross Chastain on the inside, and we saw Daniel Suarez able to keep the race lead. Then you saw a really good battle between Daniel Suarez and Ross Chastain, but no one really got the advantage, and they still battled really hard side by side. Then Daniel Suarez continued to have the race lead at this point with Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain right behind him. And then we saw another accident happen going into round 11 position, lap 113, where Austin Dillon came up in the track, and Brad Keselowski came up in Austin Dillon, bringing out the caution in this race. Luckily, there was no damage on the car. They got to keep it going. Then on lap 119 on the restart, Daniel Suarez lead the field back to the green from the outside with Ross Chastain on the inside, and we saw Daniel Suarez able to keep the race lead. Then Daniel Suarez will lead the next portion, and we kept it going, and we saw Cristobal get the second and started battling for the lead against Daniel Suarez. Then there was a breed caution that came out from a flat tire, and they basically, breed caution came out as soon as they crossed halfway. Like we mentioned at the beginning of this video, rain was becoming a major important factor in this race. They were able to keep it going. And then on the race on lap 132, had Daniel Suarez lead the field back from the green from the outside, with Cristobal on the inside. Then Chase Briscoe got into second, and there was a battle for the lead. And then we saw Corey LaJoie spin on the backstretch. No one got involved in it, but there was like a stack of like Bubba Wallace and a couple other guys. He would bring out the caution in this race. And on the restart on lap 140 in this race, he had Daniel Suarez lead the field back to the green from the outside with Chase Briscoe on the inside. And Chase Briscoe was able to get the race lead, and he would hold off a hard charge at Cristobal to win stage number 2. Because of after the stage, people decided to come down pit road. Guys like Chase Briscoe came down pit road. We saw a couple other guys come in. But some guys decided to stay out. This included Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick, Austin Lemon, those guys. There was a lot of confusion because one of the rules is that basically because the stage had ended, they decided to go ahead and give the positions back. Now, if the race ended at the time, and there was a chance it could have because of the rain, they were going to go ahead and call the race. However, they decided to get back going, but there were some issues with the scoring. NASCAR really handled the scoring. It really wasn't complicated. The booth was really kind of confused, but if they wouldn't have gone back green and the scoring had not gone around, it would have been Kyle Busch would not have been the leader, Chase Briscoe would have been the leader, and everyone would have remained in the position they went in before they came into pit road. So there was a lot of confusion about that, but no issues right there. And then we went back racing on lap 152 with Kyle Busch leading the field from the outside with Joey Logano on the inside. Meanwhile, Ross Chastain also unfortunately blew his engine. He was talking about that during the red flag. His engine unfortunately blew up and unfortunately fell out of this race. And Chase Elliott actually was able, I think it was Joey Logano who got, Tyler Reddick who got the race lead. Then Kyle Busch had more issues and started falling back. And then a few laps later, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was spin in turn number 3, bringing out the caution, and a bunch of drivers got involved in as well. This included Chase Elliott, Cody Ware, Daniel Suarez, and Martin Truex Jr. It seemed like that Cody Ware and had some issues with Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott kind of got into the back of him, and there were some tempers that flared between Chase Elliott and Cody Ware they're probably going to talk about later this week. And then went back racing to lap 168 with Tyler Reddick leading the field back to the green from the outside with Joey Logano on the inside, and Tyler Reddick was able to keep the race lead. And then a lap later, Eric Jones had some contact with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and would spin, bringing out the caution once again. And then once again, we saw Cody Ware and Chase Elliott get into some contact. Cody Ware was not very happy with Chase Elliott during that. And basically, so at that time, Martin Truex Jr. would come down pit road with the hood up to fix toe issues. Then we go back racing with 75 laps to go with Tyler Reddick leading the field from the outside with Austin on the inside, and Tyler Reddick was able to keep the race lead. And then a few laps later, another caution came out for Todd Gillen, who spun from 25th, bringing out the caution in this race. I don't know, Todd Gillen just got loose into the corner and brought out the yellow. And then we go back racing lap 184 with Tyler Reddick leading the field from the outside with Joey Logano on the inside, and Kyle Busch actually got second, but Tyler Reddick was able to keep the race lead. And then we basically see Austin really get high up into the group and fell from 7th position. And then a few laps later, we saw Ricky Stenhouse Jr. slow down the backstretch after getting into the wall, bringing out the caution. We then go back racing lap 211 with 40 laps to go with Tyler Reddick leading the field to green from the outside with Kyle Busch on the inside, and Tyler Reddick was able to keep the race lead. Then on that next lap, Austin Dillon in the same motors as Tyler Reddick, he basically had smoke coming out of his pipes and started falling through the field. JJ Lee really had nowhere to go and ran into the back of him. Eric Almirola and Kurt Busch were getting damaged trying to avoid him at this time. Meanwhile, also at this time, Bubba Wallace came down pit road with some major issues on his car, and he would have some engine issues. And then rain came back once again, and NASCAR decided to red flag it. And it looked like that this race was going to be over. And then NASCAR got the cars back up on track. With 24 laps to go, we went back racing, and Tyler Reddick had the lead from the outside with Kyle Busch on the inside, and Tyler Reddick kept the race lead. And then Chase Briscoe and Kyle Busch started battling for second, and this really was going to be the battle between who was going to go after Tyler Reddick for the victory. And Chase Briscoe, around 20 laps to go, was able to get around him for second position, and Chase Briscoe and Tyler Reddick started having the battle between those two. Chase Briscoe was arguably the fastest car in this race and was really starting to catch Tyler Reddick, but he was making major mistakes and was having some major issues, and Tyler Reddick was able, though, to hold him off through that. As they came to the white flag of this race, Chase Briscoe had really closed up to about a 0.3 of a second, and basically he was really closing, and going into turn number 3, he sends a slide job up into Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick unfortunately spins out, does not collect it in time, tries to drive off, but here coming off the corner, Kyle Busch comes off the corner, passes both of them, and just like the Busch Clash last year, Kyle Busch comes off the corner and picks up his first win of 2022 in incredible fashion and wins here at Bristol Dirt. Holy moly, what an incredible finish. Kyle Busch definitely did not have the best car tonight, but he's right there at the right time. You got to feel for Tyler Reddick, though, but what an incredible finish to this race. Yes, I know it had a lot of rain delays and stuff, but you cannot tell me that that finish was not absolutely excellent. We're going to be talking about this finish for many years. An incredible finish, and Kyle Busch picking up the victory. Huge congratulations to Kyle Busch. He gets the victory. Did not have the best car, probably not the most deserved. A lot of people are going to probably call this a Mickey Mouse win, as Bubba Wall said during the rain delay. But Kyle Busch picks up his first victory in 2022 and also becomes the 8th driver to win this season as well. That playoff grid is definitely starting to fill up, and there's not many spots left in the playoffs right now. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at the results of tonight's race. So Kyle Busch picks up the victory. Huge congratulations to him. Tyler Reddick finishes second. Man, you got to feel for Tyler Reddick. Reddick has absolutely been really doing incredible this year, and I think a win is definitely coming for him. He really had this race in the bag. The kid is really good, and I think Reddick is going to win a race here sooner than later. Joey Logano finishes third. Logano had a really good car tonight. I think he didn't have the best car, but a really strong car most of the evening. That truck experience yesterday really played a factor and helped him out. It gets a really solid top 5 finish. Good run from Joey Logano. Kyle Larson finished in 4th. I think Kyle Larson had probably one of the 2 or 3 best cars in this race, but unfortunately restarts really affected him, and at pits coming down pit road here, I think really cost him the victory and getting on the inside line, because the inside line really played a factor in if you were going to have a chance to win or not. He did get a top 5 though, which is really good. I did expect him. I thought he was going to win tonight, but he does get a very solid top 5. Hopefully this is good momentum going into Talladega, but let's be for real, Kyle Larson, like at Talladega, is not that great. Ryan Blaney finished his 5th. Blaney was quiet all night, ran top 10 most of the evening, and gets a very solid top 5 finish. I think Ryan Blaney's been really quietly having a good year. I think he's definitely a championship contender right now. Gets a good top 5 finish. Alex Bowman finishes 6th. Alex Bowman bounced back after issues early in the race and gets a good top 10 run. Good run from Alex Bowman, and definitely a much more consistent season than he had last year. Cristobal finishes 7th. Cristobal really was good in the beginning, and his car really fell off in the later portions of this race. It didn't seem like he had the grip near the end of the run, but he does get a solid top 10 finish. It wasn't the best run he could have had, but he does get a top 10 finish. Chase Elliott finished his 8th. Considering the issues Chase had in this race, he bounced back to an incredible top 10 finish. Chase looked like he was going to contend for the victory at the end, but after issues late in the race really cost him coming down pit road late, he didn't get an opportunity to contend, but he still gets a very solid top 10 finish. Good run from Chase Elliott. Michael McDowell finished his 9th. Michael McDowell was absolutely killer in this race today. He did incredible. Ran top 10 a lot of his races. That 34 looked absolutely great. This is the first time all season that the 34 cars look competent throughout this year, even early in the year. So great to see Michael McDowell get a very good top 10 run tonight. Ty Dillon finished 7th. Another guy that looked really good. Also his best run, in my opinion, tonight. He was really good in this race. Was fast early. He was kind of my guy. I was looking to maybe to be an underdog in this race. Great run from Ty Dillon, though. I think this is his first top 10 of the year, so congrats Ty Dillon on getting a top 10 finish. He finishes in 10th. Brad Keselowski finished 11th. If Brad Keselowski continues to run as good as he's been running the last couple weeks, I would not count him out of making the playoffs. I think the wins are definitely piling up, so it's going to be harder for him to do it, but if he continues running as good as he is, and we're going to a track next week where he's been historically good, don't count Keselowski out. He was running top 5 at points. Good to see that Keselowski's really starting to show what he's got. Daniel Suarez finishes 12th. Man, I feel for Suarez. He was up front in this race, had to come down the road, and kind of fell back in the later portion of this race, but does get a very solid top 15 finish regardless, so good bounce back for him. He finishes 12th. Cole Custer finishes 13th after bounce back from his issues. Justin Haley finishes in 14th. Chris Buescher finishes in 15th. Austin finishes 16th, was a no-show in this race. Todd Gillen ran top 20 all race, gets 17th place finish, so all run for him. William Byron was also a no-show, considering last week he won the race. Was pretty much a no-show in this race. He finishes in 18th. Corey LaJoie with a solid top 20 run. He finishes in 19th. And Harrison Burton finishes 20th. Mark Truex Jr. slightly bounced back to 21st place finish. Not a great run in the day for Mark Truex Jr. considering he had the dominant car last year, but does get a 21st place finish regardless. Chase Briscoe, after spinning out late, he finishes in 22nd. He was very, very kind. Barely was not mad at. He was really not mad at Tyler Reddick. They were really happy with it. Weren't really, angry at each other after race. It was really classy between those two. He finishes in 22nd. Eric Almirola finishes in 23rd. Eric Jones finishes 24th. Josh Williams in his Cup Series debut gets a very solid top 25 finish. Good to see that Live Fast Motorsports put a good guy in their car this weekend. Good solid top 25. Good run from them. Cody Ware finishes 26th. Noah Gragson finishes 27th. Bubba Wallace, after having engine issues late, he looked good early in his race. The car just still fell off late in the run. And they got to get their stuff together in the 23-11 camp. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finished 29th. Thought he was going to be more of a factor tonight, but issues really plagued him in this race. JJ Lee finishes 30th. JJ was really a top 20 car a lot of this race, and it's a shame that he got that damage from Austin Dillon's issues because he could have been a contender. 31st for Austin Dillon after his issues late in the race. Kurt Busch finished 32nd after crashing out late. 33rd for Ross Chastain after his engine issues. 34th for Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick was not happy after the race. Denny Hamlin finishes 35th. His bad season continues. And Justin Allgaier finishes last in 36th. So now let's talk about the overall race as a whole and give you my score of tonight's race. This race, while yes, there were a lot of rain delays in this race, generally when the race was green, you saw amazing racing. Multiple lanes where you can make runs and incredible passing throughout the field. They got that track prepped way better this year than they did last year, and we saw a very, very good race in my opinion. I was really excited about this race going into the weekend. I was kind of concerned maybe it was going to be like last year, but the fact they decided to move it to a night race, I think really played a factor into this race being a lot better, and I absolutely agree that this race was so much better than last year, and I think this wasn't the best race we've had this year so far, but this definitely is a top 5 race so far this season. I'm going to give tonight's race at Bristol overall a 9.2 out of 10. I'm going to give this race nearly a perfect score. The only thing negative toward this race is the amount of caution laps that there were, and I do feel like the rain delays, they did a good job keeping it going, but I also do think that mandatory yellow did play a factor in my score just a little bit. But overall, I thought this race is really, really good, and also you had an amazing and fantastic finish. I really did enjoy this race, and I feel like we definitely going to come back here next year and put on a good show. So, anyway, that's going to be for tonight's NASCAR race review from Bristol Dirt. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications to be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on page as well. Let's schedule below over that and comment your thoughts on tonight's race. Your thoughts on tonight's race, let me know below. Let me know your score in the console, and congratulate Kyle Busch on picking up the victory here at Bristol Dirt. Let me know comments below. Hope you all have enjoyed your Easter today. Hope you've all been able to spend some time with your families tonight. And tomorrow we'll have a news video discussing some of the news that's happened over the last couple of days. We actually really don't have that much to discuss about, but that'll be coming out tomorrow on the channel. So anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time with some more great awesome NASCAR and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.